It's still a mystery to me.
Get this straight. Hi guys, so I wanted to talk to you about affliction. Now I know the word affliction makes you want to get up and run away and leave the room. It does for me. But the Bible says that we will face many trials and afflictions, and when we do, we need to be of good cheer and joy. The word affliction actually means to suffer a time of distress or suffering. I know it doesn't sound really good, but what God does promise is that He will make sure that through our suffering, He will make a way for us, and what was meant for our harm, He would turn it out for our good. It was just the other day, I was sitting, and you know those days where you feel really, really dreary and tired and weary from persevering and having to push and having to constantly keep faith. And it was one of those days where I just kind of sat down and I just thought, God, why? I'm your child, I love you, I should be blessed. Why is it that everything I seem to be doing, nothing seems to be working out? You sometimes think, what would people think of me, because I love you and I'm faithful and I speak of your faithfulness, but nothing seems to go right in my life. Everything I do, I seem to be facing some sort of force. It just doesn't seem to flow. And I remember as I closed my eyes and sat there, I thought about Jesus. Jesus came into my mind, and I thought, that's exactly what the world was expecting. They were expecting Him to come in this white horse and just save them and kill all their enemies. And they pictured Him in such a different light. But that's the magic, and that's the power of God, is He does things in a different way, not our way. His ways are far higher than our ways, far higher than what we could ever possibly imagine. And when Jesus came, He came differently to what everyone expected. He came and He took up His cross. And you know, when I think of Jesus, I always think of the Jesus who did miracles and signs and wonders and pulled in crowds and had people following Him wherever He went. I mean, people just got out of their boats and walked and followed Him. That amazing stuff. But I never really thought about Jesus carrying His cross and having to suffer and going through what He went through. And it says that Jesus, He wept and He called out to His Father and He said, "Oh Father, why have you forsaken me?" And it said when He prayed, He actually prayed that it was like His sweat was drops of blood falling to the ground. You know, in what we might think we face trials, and maybe you have, but I don't know if I've actually ever prayed so intensely, and He prayed intensely, you know, to have to feel like you're taking the world on your shoulders. But He was obedient. And the good news is that He came out and He was glorified and He was raised up and He was sitting at the right hand, and He's going to be the King of Kings to whom every knee will bow. And it's the same for us at those times where we feel like we're carrying our cross, those times of affliction, that time of trial where it just feels like you're not getting anywhere. Just know that God promises to turn it out for our good. He promises that us too will be lifted up to a place of glory. His will is to prosper us, not to harm us, and to bless us. And I completely believe this. You know, when we just pray in those times and have faith and declare the word and know that God will see us through, you will start to see Him work in a mighty way. I know that I have, and I always do. Just stay in faith. A quick story that I just want to share just before I go. But my dad and my brother are mountain climbers, and they climb mountains all over the world, and this is their thing and this is what they enjoy. And I just love the analogy of a mountain climber, because I think of the strain that it is to climb that mountain, how tough it is on your legs, how you feel the burn, how every step you take, one in front of the other, it's exhausting, how your mind keeps telling you, turn back, you can't do it, you're tired, you're short of breath, you're carrying a heavy weight. And I just love the fact that when you're determined enough and you're focused And you just keep taking one step at a time, even though it feels like a struggle and it's difficult. You don't look to the left or to the right. Eventually you get your mountaintop experience. And I know that through every trial that you're facing and every affliction or suffering that comes your way, just know that that mountaintop experience is waiting for you. And when we get there, when those mountain climbers get to the top, they forget about the pain that they had gone through. It takes their breath away. It's always more beautiful and more astounding and astonishing than what they ever could have imagined. And I just know that God has his mountaintop waiting for you. Keep going, keep persevering, keep believing, and know that you will get there.